Hey, Tommy boy.
What's going on?
Not much. It's Tuesday night and my green screen is up, but there's nothing else on it. That's pretty cool, right?
I'm outside at my bar. It's a nice night. I'm sitting outside tonight.
Yeah, so I could try to do this, but this is what happens. That's what happens. I start talking like Max Headroom.
Yeah.
So we're done with that. So you had a pretty big weekend this weekend. One of your children is now able to go buy you some beers.
Absolutely. Yeah, my oldest daughter, she turned 21.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had a little thing here with just some close. Another one of my friends, his daughter, turned 21, and we had a little thing here in the pole barn.
Yeah, it's been a pretty cool little weekend. I guess everybody was here in my backyard, pretty much.
Right. They pumped up the 20 up to 25 people right before the weekend.
Yeah, I don't have that many friends, so it doesn't affect me at all.
I don't want that many.
I want to just real quick. I want to let everybody know that last week Brewery Strong sent out their first 50 checks. Almost 50 went out. We're waiting for some addresses for some people. Felt pretty good. On Thursday night on the Brewery Strong site and this site, we're going to have like a 15-minute update for everybody that was interested, all the people that have been supporting that. Me, Fun Bobby, Alexis, Cindy, and Matt Ziegler all on just for a real quick 15-minute update. But tonight we got a pretty cool thing. I mean, we're making the rounds of South Jersey here. Mm-hmm. And I was pretty excited that we got these guys here. We have Justin and Chris from Cape May Brewing Company and Cape Beverage. So Chris is—
Hey guys, how's it going?
Chris is the tasting room general manager, and Justin is the ops manager of Cape Beverage. So first of all, let's tell everybody what Cape Beverage is for people who don't know. I think that's where we need to start, Justin, because we're thinking there's a brewery they don't know about right now.
So basically, we took the self-distribution arm of Cape May Brewery, just like all the other New Jersey breweries that you can self-distribute, and we just made it its own entity. Got it licensed, got the insurance, the liability, took everything off the brewery, and made Cape Beverage its own. So basically, we have the rights to distribute. Sorry, not the rights, but we're distributing all of Cape May Brewing Company product, and we can bring on other brands eventually if we want. But we can really focus on the distribution and the selling of the product.
It's like a singer owning his songs.
Yeah, right.
Oh, check you out, Tom, with your little Mr. Analogy. That's your new nickname. Chris, you're the general manager of the tasting room. And how long you been there at Cape May? And tell us exactly what that means.
I have will be here 2 years this coming July. It used to mean running a bar where we get to see hundreds of people come through in a week and get to enjoy some beer. And now it's more like operating it's a delivery service where we do curbside beer to go. So in a quick matter of time, we switched around what we do over there in the tasting room.
I find it really interesting that nobody has a business plan that this is going to happen.
No.
So it always amazes me the ingenuity of this community, from the smallest to the biggest breweries. And you guys, you're one of the bigger breweries in the state. You're one of the OGs from 2011, one of the guys that helped get the rules on the map and change the way things are done here in Jersey. Your tasting room is immaculate. I'm sure it's probably the busiest, if not the busiest tasting room. It's got to be one of the top 2 or 3 in the state, especially in the summertime. So you guys see that everything is shutting down. You have the meeting with Ryan and everybody. What happens then? What do you guys do? What's the first thing you do? Either one of you guys, from the distro side or from—
I would say for me, it was a very quick pivot. Remember Monday morning, we were, with our team discussing, potential ideas and what was going to happen. And later that afternoon, we got the notification that everything we were talking about was going to happen. So we quickly switched over to curbside to go only in the tasting room. And then as soon as we got word that we could do home delivery, within, I would say, 6 to 8 hours, we had all the pieces in place to be able to successfully roll that out, where we started doing Cape May County first, and then eventually opened it up to Cumberland and Atlantic counties as well.
And Justin, on your side, there's been a big change, obviously. I mean, the liquor stores became kind of one of the saving graces of this industry and of our sanity, because it was a place you could go that stayed open, that was essential. So your job must have changed pretty quickly on that pivot as well.
Yeah, we didn't know what to expect. We first had to be deemed essential, which was great. As we manufacture and we distribute, we were deemed essential. So that meant that we didn't really have to get rid of anybody or let anybody off or furlough anybody. And it was really, really busy. Like, it was summertime busy. People were they didn't know what was going to happen. So the liquor stores just couldn't keep product in. We just kept delivering, kept being busy and busy and busy. So hopefully that's kind of leveled out a little bit now to be very, very consistent. Hi, Mary. And, and yeah, we lucky that, we had all the infrastructure in place, that we just had to make a couple little tweaks and still business as usual.
Yeah, and I think that Tom and I have interviewed a lot of people over the years, and it's amazing to me how quickly, from the biggest breweries to the smallest breweries, that people have pivoted. And we're not saying everybody's making $1 bazillion, but we've been able to keep people working, keep money coming in, and get your beer out in the street. Chris, you guys are still doing some limited releases at the Brewtique on the weekends, and I know you got some stuff coming up. What's one of the what do you got going on there, limited release wise, over at the brewery? Sorry.
Yeah, so it was 2 weeks ago now. We released 2 beers on Friday. It was Cherry Lime Good Good and Key Lime Corrosion. And much to my surprise and excitement, we sold out of Cherry Lime Good Good Saturday afternoon. So it was really nice to be able to move a good chunk of that beer out. And we still have some of the Key Lime Corrosion, which I'm drinking here tonight. And that was really cool beer. We've done Corrosion before.
Right.
And we had done a cask version of this, and we did it in the tasting room. And it was like a staff fan favorite. So months ago, we had begun talking about, trying to do this in a larger format. We put everything on hold, and then we reopened up everything recently. So we're just happy to be able to put out some different beers, some limited beers to our fans. I'd say definitely locally, and we're seeing that a lot of people are traveling down to pick these beers up as well.
It's funny. I was talking to Chris prior to the broadcast, and the first day that you guys released the Bog, me and my buddy Dan Hoover took a ride down to your tasting room, and it looked like Elvis tickets were going on sale, first of all. Mm-hmm. Just the amount of people that were in line to get the Bog. And we live here, so we're used to the Bog. Like, it was, but people are like, I can take it in cans and take this home. And it was like this huge thing. And your releases have become somewhat of a destination now on the Friday, Saturday releases. And you're doing a lot of different stuff. So that brings me to Crushing It, which is the phenomenon across everywhere, this Crushing It. People that don't even know about beer and know I have some ancillary thing to beer are like, hey, you had that Crushing It thing? So tell us a little bit about that phenomenon known as Crushing It, and what it's like to have something that everybody wants.
Justin, I'll start it off and I'll hand it over to you. It's kind of like the progression of what Crushing It was. So it started as a homebrew competition at the brewery. And then we released this beer in the tasting room 2 summers ago. We did it in 16-ounce cans, and people could not get enough of it. So, we decided to do a couple drops in the tasting room last year. And, we actually had to completely change how we operated our tasting room on release mornings to get the amount of people coming through the door and get them as much beer. People would be upset with us if we couldn't get them enough beer in their hands. So we knew we had a hit potentially with us. So then we decided to, try and scale it up and get it out to our customers, our wholesale accounts that really help move a lot of beer for us.
Yeah.
That's where Justin begins to come into play.
Yeah. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Tell us your Crushing It story.
That's just it. We were screaming for it to get it last year. We got it in draft, sold out of it. Finally figured out how to get it to the masses this year. And it's just the hot ticket item. Like, we just can't keep it in stock. It's great.
So I love Cape May for some of the things that you guys have been doing for years. I love your IPAs. Follow the Gull is one of my favorite South Jersey beers. Your barrel aged stuff we've always loved. Yeah. Coastal Evacuation was always in there. Devil's Reach. I mean, these are things that
Devil's Reach is very good.
The fruited stuff that you guys are doing, the shandy, like the citrus stuff. Where did that come from? How does that evolve? And is that a Brian thing or is that a group thing? How does that work?
It all started with the Bog. I mean, it's look at the success of the Bog. Look at the I want to say the New Jersey icon of the Bog. Mm-hmm. And it kind of spun off from there. What else can we do? What else can we do in this category? And we've been lucky to have Chris and his team where they can play with the different flavors and combinations in the tap room. And if we get a hit or not out of that, we go from there.
I used to like coming there in the winter when you'd have the brew competition. You'd have a couple on the board where you guys, brewed amongst yourselves. And I guess that's where Crushing It came from.
Yeah.
Crushing It was.
Go ahead, Chris.
Similar. It was we gave instructions. We were looking for an orange-inspired IPA. And, everyone whoever wanted to homebrew came up with their version of that. And then we did a sampling amongst the team on which one we all thought was the favorite. And then, the reward of the favorite was to go into cans for a small release in the tasting room.
Okay. So you guys have always been collaborative among each other. I know Ryan encourages that. And everybody that's in a position of making some sort of decision has always encouraged that. And I know that we've been very tight with Jimmy Bob in the past and some of the things that he changed. And it seems like when somebody else that comes in different to steer the ship, your core brands stay there, but you guys just keep branching out and making things, just getting more and more out of what I thought was your comfort zone to all these things that are amazing, that are just people are talking about them.
Tentacles.
Yeah, tentacles. I mean, it's amazing to me how much the business has changed in the last 2 years at CNBC. You really are different than what you were a couple of years ago, just with all the different stuff that you're doing out there. Let's talk about the tasting room a little bit. I know it's closed, the tasting room, but I've been in on there on a Saturday, and it's organized chaos. And the way that it flows, but there's always something to see or something to do, or how you guys work your stuff. On a typical Saturday, how many beers do you think that you pour? Did I lose you, Chris? Maybe.
John, could you repeat the question? It broke up there.
The tasting room is incredible. The flow in the tasting room. On a normal Saturday in the summer, how much beer are you moving? Not dollar-wise. I mean, like how many customers do you say? Do you guys have any idea? Justin, jump in.
I don't know the specifics. I mean, Chris does keep track of all that stuff.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can. Go ahead.
I would say at least probably 5,000 pints.
That's what you drank this weekend, Tom, and followed it down with some Jameson, apparently, which was a bad idea.
Is it now?
No, I played Flip Cup with Jameson. It was
so. Justin, you've been there for a long time. You've been there going on 7 years.
Yeah.
How, as somebody that's been there for a long time, what's the biggest changes in the business that you've seen? Because you've been there from almost the start.
Yeah, the easiest way to describe it is what got us to this point won't get us to the next point. So, instead of just going with the flow and just trying to wing it, we have a plan. We're thinking 2 years out, 3 years out, 5 years out, 10 years out. And that focus is really the biggest change that you've seen over at least the last 6.5 years that I've been there, is the focus. We know, everyone knows, what their role is on the bus. Everyone knows what their role is in building the plane. And we know what we have to do to get there.
Yeah, and the one of the things that's iconic about Cape May is that I get to see the owners of the business when I'm driving down the highway quite often here in South Jersey. How many phone calls do you get that somebody has the door open and throwing a keg out from distributors? I know you got to get them.
That specific phone call has happened 3 times, honestly. But we get a lot of comments. Oh, I saw your truck. Oh, you people taking pictures and posting it. Marketing did a great job with just brand. It's all about the story. Tell the story of the brand, and we're fun. We're beach, memorable. So they did a great job on marketing.
It's nice that Cape May embrace the area that they're in. A lot of breweries don't do that, and no offense to other breweries, but I think it's good that you embrace that whole shore attitude. And after your rebranding, it even got better, I think, to me, and that to more shore, local, with a wider appeal.
You're right, and that process took 18 months. It wasn't just like, oh, let's just change it. The company and the marketing team spent the time. They did the research. What makes Cape May, colors and iconography, and just everything that speaks to the brand. So, but it's everyone. It's all the right people on the bus. We've got the marketing team marketing it right. We've got the production team making the product and getting it out to you. We've got the guys that are distributing it. We've got the tap room where you can taste it. It's a total team effort.
And Chris, can you hear me this now? Are you better? I think Chris is a little frozen up there. One of the things too is Cape May employees are everywhere supporting everything. I mean, we go to places. I think Chris Martin, we see him everywhere. I think
he's
there's
everywhere.
12 of them. I think there's more than one Chris Martin. I'm almost
anybody on the internet that could not be on the internet.
Chris is everywhere.
I mean, you guys do a really good job about being inclusive of and supporting all the other South Jersey breweries, and it's nice. I think one of the last times I saw Ryan, you guys had an excursion, a slack tide, and I happened to show up, and everybody was there.
Yeah,
we were there, Tom. Both of us.
Yeah.
And there you guys are. They're supporting local businesses. I got a guy on the line here. So I got Jordan Crawford from Circle Liquors on here. He wants to talk about one of your beers. Jordan is the beer manager over at Circle Liquors. I'm going to pull you guys off, and I'm going to pull Jordan on here and give him a quick talk, and then I'll bring you guys back on, and you can tell him where he was wrong. Let me get him on here. Yo, buddy.
What's happening, guys?
What's up,
Jordan?
John, Tom.
What's going on?
So I have
Not
Chris
much. What's the word?
I got Chris and Justin watching from CNBC too.
Yeah.
So
Chris and Justin, what's going on?
We're gonna bring Jordan on. We're gonna talk about a CNBC beer. Jordan gets a lot of beer from all over the place, but his first love is for the hometown beers, and they do a good job of giving all the hometowners a chance. And I'm sure that Cape May, one of the first places they were probably in up this way was a Circle Liquors, because you guys have been so collaborative with beer. I'm going to pull the let me see if I can get everybody on here. Ho, everybody's up on here.
Hey.
All right. So, Jordan, what's your take? What do you got tonight that you want to tell us about?
Well, what I got is a coworker of mine, JM. He brought up Crushing It just because we're absolutely crushing it with this beer. It is unreal. It's an 8% orange IPA that is just absolutely delicious. You get I say this is the perfect, in my eyes, beer mosa, which is dangerous, but perfect for those
it's a
rough
brunch
nights
beer.
The day after in the morning on the beach. Yes. Well, brunch morning, we're in the same area.
Yeah.
You can't drink all day.
But very, very, absolutely, very dangerous. So, because they go down way too easy. The hop blend there is beautiful. I wrote it down because I knew I was going to forget. Citra, Mosaic, Azaka. It's beautiful beer, and just enough of the orange without being sweet, cloying, overwhelming, anything like that. I love this beer. From the first time I had it, when you did the brewery release, I was able to get some on that first release. You guys nailed it.
And the name fits it. The name totally fits it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how many phone calls do you get a day to see whether you have that or not?
It's nonstop. People coming in asking for it. There's this, and you get the younger folk to come in. I had this beer on the beach, and I only had a couple of them, and I was feeling it. It's like you had Crushing It. Absolutely, no question.
So I know you guys. So Cape May guys, beer cocktails with this. Do you guys ever dabble in the beer cocktails with any of your beer? I know it's kind of a hot little thing. I know we can't do them in the tasting room, but I mean, have you guys done anything like that?
We have. I mean, there's a nice little write-up on the blog. I don't remember when, but we went to an account in Cape May, and we did like a whole beer cocktail, and we did a little like a different kind of tap takeover where you could go in and try the beers, and you can make the cocktail up. I think it was like a bog breeze, like a bay breeze, and the big thing I think right now people are mixing tequila with tan limes or tequila with tan limes in the Grove. I think is what they're doing. Yeah, so people are doing it.
That's good. I know me and Tom have gone to a lot of these places that they're serving cocktails.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
If you guys can hear me now, we've experimented in the tasting room with mixing the different beers together. So we usually, our staff will have some fun trying, this guy with that guy. And then we have a lot of people that come in that do tell us that they're doing different cocktails at home and that they're making man moses out of Crushing It, or, they're putting this in the bog or that in any of our other beers. So while I can't make them there in the tasting room, we certainly hear a whole lot about them.
Well, Chris Martin chimes in. He does tan limes, margaritas, and gin and juice with the Grove. You say his name,
Perfect.
he shows up.
Chris
He's
is the man.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Right?
Yeah.
Chris is the man.
He really is the man. I mean, that guy, he's everywhere. Jordan, what else, real quick segueing over, what else you guys got going on there this week that you're willing to tell us about?
It's such a whirlwind. It's just trying to keep beer on the shelves, to be honest with you. That's where we're at these days.
Yeah.
But it's the Cape May, they're keeping their beer flowing. So we're just trying to get through and maintain while keeping it safe and clean for everyone that comes in.
Give everybody a quick plug of how we can get beers online from Circle Liquors. If you can't get them delivered or whatever, tell us what you guys are doing.
You go, just hit us up, circleliquors.com. We can do that. Hit us up on 609-927-2921. Stop in and see me. I'll point you in the right direction. And that's what we got going on.
If you guys are in the Circle, if you're in a liquor store and you want to try some new beers, grab one of the guys there, Chris or somebody. They'll move you right to, they're very versed in the beers. You can tell them your flavor profile, and they'll move you right to that beer or a couple different ones. I watch it in action there. It's just like you guys at the tasting room. I watch it in action. It's like, oh, I like this. Well, here, let's try this. This is a local beer that we do here. So anyway,
always go local.
I know you got to go take care of that little Reggie. So
yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate you stopping on tonight. And guys, hit up Circle Liquors and buy some Cape May beers and try something different.
Absolutely.
All right, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
I
appreciate
Jordan.
it.
See ya.
Cheers, guys.
Old Jordan, man, I'll tell you what. Circle Liquors, they do a really, really good job, and he does push the local beers. I loaded him with that question because I wanted to talk about the Crushing It. I know the amount of phone calls that people are getting, and it's amazing to me, all that's going on.
That's great.
So, do you guys? So, I know you don't like to give away any secrets. I know you guys probably have some stuff that you want to do later. Is there anything coming up in the near future that we can maybe sneak peek on?
Nobody's watching. Tease.
What is it? What did he say?
Little tease.
Little tease.
Yeah.
I can't speak for Chris in the tasting room. I know the next big wholesale release that we have will be the Anniversary Ale number 9 coming out.
I love your Anniversary Ale.
So it's on the books. It'll be out end of the month, end of June, towards the beginning of July. From what I've been told, it's literally 9 pounds of hops per barrel. But they really spaced it out in the production end of it. It's not just all dry hopped.
Right.
That way it's a lot more drinkable. You're not just drinking a bag of or a can of hop juice. So
9 years this year. Is it 9 years?
9 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's great. The Anniversary Ales the last 2 years, we really look forward to them. I mean, they're done really, really well. They're a hop bomb, but they don't give you that fire when you're done with them. They're all finished very, very nice. Pretty awesome. Jordan says they'll take all of the Anniversary beer at Circle Liquors. Let's drop it all out. Really.
Only if it gets a
I'll
fork.
say,
tell them only if it
in
gets
the tasting room. We're going to keep doing these 16-ounce beers that we just did these past 2 weeks. We're going to have more stuff like that coming out. We'll say we also have Crushing It and Grove becoming available soon. We don't have an exact date on that yet, but soon in the tasting room and packaged goods. And, we really like to listen to what our fans are asking for and saying they like in these like backdoor releases that we do. So, we do hear everybody, and we're going to do our best to give them what they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to me. And well, a lot of it's amazing. It's amazing to me that you find that, everybody talks about IPA, Haze Boys, and all this kind of stuff. You guys do a good job at that, and I love all that stuff, Whitecaps and, everything that you guys do. But it's amazing to me where it's not a niche market, but I mean, you kind of hit the market where I think a lot of people weren't doing. And it's just crazy. I mean, how many non-beer drinkers that me and Tom come across in the daytime that are like, I can't drink those hoppy beers, but boy, I can drink me some of the bog. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's cool. And they're a beer that beer people aren't afraid to drink either. So that's the nice thing about it.
It was always a favorite of mine when someone would come in to do a tasting. And, they're like, I don't drink beer. What do you have? And we were able to give them a wide variety of beers that they're like, oh, you know what? I actually did enjoy this. So it was nice to be able to reach some of those people.
On a 95-degree day, it's awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of times.
It's cool, yeah.
But you still have Cape May IPA. You still have a lot of, your core stuff that, we still look for when we go out. The nice thing about living in South Jersey is just about everywhere you go, there's a Cape May on tap of some sort or available where you know that, hey, if they don't have anything else, that I know I can get this beer and it's going to be drinkable and it's going to be good and it's going to taste the same from can to can. And that's whose dog is that?
That's my
mine.
Mine's locked up in the other room.
So once again, let's go to Chris real quick. If you guys want to get some beer from Cape May and you want to do the delivery thing, what's the best way to do it?
The best way is to go right to CapeMayBrewery.com. Right there on our homepage, we have order beer here. If you want to get that delivered, you just, you have to add at least 3 items to your cart. And then you just put in your billing address and your shipping address. And then if we're doing Cape May County deliveries, any order placed before 5 o'clock goes out same day. After 5 o'clock, we go out next day. And then for Atlantic and Cumberland County, if it's placed before 12 o'clock that day, it goes out that day. And then obviously the next day. So we deliver all 3 counties every single day. We appreciate it. It's been really great for the tasting room staff. We've been able to keep a lot of our team employed. They've completely had to change what their jobs are. They're used to pouring beer into a pint glass and handing somebody across the bar, and now they got masks and gloves on and ringing doorbells. But we're happy that we're able to get this beer out.
Like, it's
really nice to be able to connect with the fans. Yeah,
yeah, it is.
I mean, people love when you walk up to the door with a case of beer. You're pretty much the favorite sight of the day.
Oh yeah, better than the FedEx.
And
yeah,
same thing. I mean, same thing on our end. If you have your licensees out there and they don't carry our product and they want to, they're getting requests for it. They can go to capebeverage.com and there's information there to sign up to become one of our customers. We do distribute the entire state, all 21 counties. We're out every single day, Monday through Friday. There's no once a month or once every other week. We're in every county every week. So same there.
And how the new digs coming? Did you guys?
We've been operating out of the new dig since April 6th. So
you're right around the corner from one of my offices. So I just come knock on the door and say, "Hey," no, I'm only kidding.
Shoot me a message first. So, but yes, basically, yeah.
And has that made? I know Ryan. I know the owners are Cape May loyal, but I guess it comes to a certain point where you have to have a hub that's kind of closer to where you're delivering because your beer's got to go everywhere. And
you're close to the Parkway and AC Expressway, right?
Expressway.
There.
Yeah. The running joke is, we're 20 miles in the ocean where the brewery is. If you look at the map, you look at a star and you put the star on the brewery, it covers the bottom of the state. So we're 20 miles in the ocean. And just from an operational efficiency point, having Chris Martin sit behind the wheel of a truck for, 90 minutes, we just reduced his commute 90 minutes. So, to go to North Jersey all the way up to, Malloy Liquors in the far tip of the state, instead of it taking, 5.5 hours round trip, it's only 4 hours round trip. So,
it made a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
It made a lot of sense. Well, guys, I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody, Cape May, Courtney and Alicia and Ryan, and everybody who's always been so good to us here at South Jersey Beer Scene. And we do the What's on Tap show. And Mark Graves is saying, hey. So let me give him some love. I appreciate everything that you guys do for us as well. And it's really exciting to see the growth. Tom and I were one of the first people. We used to go get Cape May beer when you were literally that little spot there.
Yeah,
it's nice to see the growth and see a lot of our friends that are working there and doing really well. And I love that you're keeping people working during the pandemic. It's been a really, really hard. Dan Patella loves you, by the way.
Or was he talking to you?
It's been. No,
I'm not sure that's.
It's nice to see a bigger company. We were kind of curious because we feel like the bigger you are, the harder this was going to be because of just your sheer volume of what you were putting out there. Not that you're Budweiser, but I mean it's still a different logistic than the guy who's on the corner and doesn't have much distro. So thanks for keeping everybody employed, and they're all learning.
Keep everybody in beer,
and thanks for keep releasing the new beer, and we'll be looking forward to the new releases. Guys, Cape May Brewery, get on the website, order some beer, stop at all the liquor stores, grab some beer, and yeah, there you go. And me, I'm drinkless tonight. Sorry, guys. But cheers, everybody. I appreciate you coming on. Thursday night, right here, we're going to have the Brewery Strong announcement just to talk about a recap. Be about 15 minutes, 7:30. Fun Bobby, Alexis, Matt Ziegler, and Cindy Durama from Twin Elephant. Hopefully all 5 of us will be able to get on there. We had a really good week and did a ton of checks out to people that were in need. If anybody is out of work, if you guys know any of the guys that are out of work or furloughed, I know that you try to keep everybody there. Go to brewerystrong.org, fill out the application. We want to give people we want to give people help that we can. Anybody in the brewery, restaurant, or bar business that serve craft beer that has taken a little bit of a tough hit right here, give us an application. We want to give you money. All these great breweries and people have done a really fantastic job of donating, and we want to be able to give it out. So thanks to everybody who did that. And I guess that's it, guys. Thanks again, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.